mentions about those topics from Bhavishya Puran, which mentions about Christianity, about Buddhism, about Muslims, about Jain, and different this sect around. That's in Sanskrit we use word dharma. Literally in English, dharma is translated as a religion, but actually that word religion, it's not giving the complete meaning, because religion means a sect of faith, just actually faith. Religion means, because if we see the definition, that's faith. And a religious principle, if we start saying religious principle, then those principles which take portion in path of like goodness or right path, something like that. But sometimes you can see that's not only the definition of dharma when we say it, because dharma have much more bigger definition. And so then we cannot say dharma to all these different path, different faith, different sect, because dharma is something to do with eternal nature or eternal that shobha or characteristic. So if we just say religion, it won't exactly denote that. That's why this difference. And actually Srimad Bhagavad Mahapurana itself says, in 6th canto, it says veda pranito dharma, ya dharmastu viparya, means whatever Vedic principle says or Veda says, that's dharma. And everything against Veda is adharma. It's a very clear definition, We don't have to try to make a definition what exactly dharma means. So whatever is supported by Vedic principles and Vedic rules and regulations, Vedic injunctions, that is dharma. And whatever is not supported by a Vedic Shastra, that's not dharma. So there could be level, because even like Vedic scriptures, they support this different level. It may start just from some fruitive activities up to the attainment of Krishna Prem, everything is supported by Veda. Like even fruitive activities, it's supported by Veda. So even doing different fruitive activities, different like starting from Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, everything supported by Veda. So this comes under the umbrella of dharma. So now this to be under the umbrella of dharma and to attain the perfection of dharma, that is difference. So even if we start any rules, any Vedic injunction, any Vedic instruction, we start following, that is already we following the path of dharma. It may not be the perfection of dharma, because to attain the prema of that Supreme Lord, that's the perfection of dharma. So Veda pranito dharma, ya dharma stuiparya, Vedo Narayana sakshat. And the dharma, it comes from Ved, and Ved, it comes from Narayana. Vedo Narayana sakshat. And Ved is Narayana itself. It's whatever, the shwas, the breathing of Narayana, that's Ved actually. And from where Narayana comes, saying Swayambhur iti Sustrama. Is Swayambhu. It doesn't come from anywhere. Is Swayambhu. Swayambhu means self-manifested. Self-manifested. Nobody is the reason for him. He is the supreme reason. And just today morning, I was listening one lecture of Srila Prabhupada, and then Prabhupada says, and same this sloka he was giving lecture, and he was saying, there's no difference in Sri Rama, Sri Narayana, Sri Krishna, Narsimha. Only the thing is, devotees, some devotees love Rama, some devotees love Krishna, because Narayana is also Swayambhu. Iti Susruma. Prabhupada was explaining that. He is Swayambhu. He is self-manifested. So, like, because Krishna is Narayana, Narayana is Krishna, so he is self-manifested in that sense. All the dharma or the Vedic injunctions, whatever Veda says, is actually dharma. Anything that is against Vedic principle, Vedic scriptures, or which contradicts Vedic scriptures, or which challenge Vedic scriptures, all those principles, they cannot be considered to be dharma. They could be considered as some sort of thought of some independent individual, but it could not be kept under the umbrella of Dharma. That's what Srimad Bhagavatam says. So actually this we were discussing once, and that time I had somebody asked me this question. Because of that I wrote this book actually. That somebody asked then, what is Christianity, what is Muslims, what is Jews, Buddhism, whatever. I mean, if you say that Dharma is only Vedic is Dharma, everything is adharma, then all these are adharma. I mean, there should be something, you know. And what is the Vedic perspective on Christianity? How we can understand Christians? Then I just told him, just like that, more than Christians, we know Christianity better. Because we know the root of Christianity, and we know the proper explanation in philosophical way, based on our scriptures. Then he was saying, how come you know better Christianity than the Christians? Then I thought, maybe we should, there I answered, then I thought maybe I should write it, you know, because that will make much more sense. So people can just get it and read it.
Make it comprehensive.
Yeah, this very small. I'm just thinking to translate it into English.
Yeah, for sure.
Because this I think is very useful, you know, because it gives the complete understanding.
Everything in context.
Yeah. And like properly, you know, not like that. Oh, where was Jesus Christ for the next 13 years? So we don't have to put brain and listen from somebody saying that it's not important. It's important, most important part of his life. Actually, if we see, most important part of life of Jesus Christ was those lost 13 years and after he's crucified. Those were the most important, because he met with Salivan and they had wonderful conversation after crucifixion.
Salivan.
Yeah. And for 13 years, he was visiting all this place and gathering the knowledge. He actually got enlightenment.
Right. But even if you don't know that,
Yeah.
just the state he was in when he disappeared, and the state he was in when he came back, were completely different.
Yeah,
So
because
how do you account for that?
yeah, when he disappeared, he was 13 years old,
Just ordinary
and just an ordinary shepherd boy.
Yeah.
He was herding the sheep.
Yeah.
And all of the sudden, after 13 years, same boy comes, and he is already Mahatma, you know. He is like teaching everyone, telling do this, do that. So, and just like teaching something which is being practiced in his community, that would not be surprising. But he is teaching those things which is not at all heard by anyone, you know. It's like completely new thing he is teaching. So he should learn it somewhere. He should get it from somewhere. So that's very common thing to, if we don't need to be learned scholar to think that, you know, it's just a matter of common sense and logic. So in Bhavishya Puran, it's in Pratisarga Parva, second chapter, starting from 22nd slok up to 32nd slok, is explained about the Jesus Christ, that the grandson of Vikramaditya, his name was Salivan. Vikramaditya was a very brave king those days. So he had a grandson named Salivan, and he was ruling, and he was actually fighting and increasing the territory of his country. No, it's already too hot. So he was fighting, going all around and increasing his territory, winning different kingdoms and merging them in his kingdom. So winning the small kings and small nations around and merging them in his country. So he was going there and he saw that was Veda Pradesh. Veda Pradesh means nowadays around Kashmir and Jammu, Kashmir, like those areas. It's like northern part, and throughout the year covered with snow. So those places. So Veda Deshasya Madhyavai Giristam Purusham Shubham Dadarsha Valvan Raja Gauranga Shweta Vastrakam. This Vikramaditya's grandson, Salivan, he was going through the Himalayas and he saw a portion in one parvat, in small hill, in the Himalayas, like this range of Himalayas, and there are small peaks. So in foothill of one of the peak, he saw like very strange sort of person. How he was strange is by looking, he has a sort of like effulgence in his face, but cannot be called sadhu because he was completely white and his eyes were blue and his hair was long and white. So blonde hair, something they called it. It's white hair. Not complete white also, like sort of yellowish white, what they call it. So it was not like complete white, but sort of white,
Blonde.
Yeah, maybe like that, blonde, like that. So he saw like long hair and not much beard and those things, but hair was long. And he was putting white cloth. But his effulgence was very attractive. Then he's thinking, this Salivan is thinking who could be, because doesn't looks like an Aryan. It's not Arya because his eyes are bluish and blonde hair and not much beard and this thing. So who is this? So he's there, but his effulgence is very attractive. It's like glowing sort of things. Then Salivan, he went nearby and he started getting some like who is he sort of questions, what he is doing here and how he is surviving, because it's like full of snow, not much house or nothing around. And what he is doing alone here, from where he came, because doesn't looks like Arya, doesn't looks like from this land. So because it says in that land people used to have small eyes, but he have a bit big eyes. So everything suggests, his bodily appearance suggests that he doesn't belong to that specific land, Udadesh, where he saw him. Then he went nearby and asked, Ko bhavan iti tampraha, who are you? Salivan asked. Sahovacha mudanvita, he asked that, Ko bhavan iti, who are you? And then that person, he asks, when Salivan asks him the question, by listening that question, he is very happily answering. He became very happy that when he asks question, like sometimes we ask question to somebody, they just, why you need? Who are you? Why you need? He was not in that mood. But when he heard that question, he was closing eyes and sitting there. So when he heard the question, he opened the eyes and he was very happy. And then he started answering saying, Isha putram samam viddi kumari garva sambhavam. I am Isha putra. I am son of God. And viddi kumari garva sambhavam. Although it sounds impossible, but I was born from the Kumari, the virgin. And I am Isha putra. And actually, once I heard from one sadhu in Vrindavan, he was saying, globally in this world, in this creation itself, everyone, in every creature is actually, they are children of Krishna, because Krishna says, Aham bija prada, prada pitaha, I am the seed giving father of all the creation, everything, all the living entities. So, Mamai Vamsho, they are all the living entities, they are part and parcels of him. So they are actually everyone children of the God. So he's saying, Isha putram chamam vidhi kumari garva sambhavam. Although it sounds impossible, but I am the son of God and I was born from the God. Then he asks, okay, you are son of God and you are born from virgin, basically because he was the king of those days and he knew the Shastra. He didn't ask, how come you are the son of God? He just might have thought about everyone is children of God, because Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says that Mamai Vamsa Jiva Loki Jiva Bhutta Sanatana, not only human beings, entire creation, they are children.
He's speaking philosophically.
Yeah. So then he asked, okay, then what you do? Basically, once we know somebody like introduction, then basically that's what we ask, So what is your job or what you do? What is your occupation? That's basically what we ask. And then he asks same thing. Okay, then what do you do? What do you do? And this Christ, Isamashi itself, Isamashi, he answered saying, Mleccha dharmasya vaktaram satyavrata parayanam. I'm a preacher of a Mleccha dharma. I teach the principle of dharma to Mleccha. And I'm satyavrata parayanam. So I teach them you should be always truthful and you should take the vow of being truthful. That's what I teach. That is my teaching. To whom? Mleccha. To Mleccha I am teaching dharmasya. I am trying to make them, bring them in the path of dharma. That's what I do. That's my preaching. My job is of that preacher. I preach. And I try to teach them the Satya Brata Parayanam, to take the vow, to take the brata of being truthful. I teach them. And then he is saying, okay, I have heard that dharma, but dharma for Mleccha, it sounds something like interesting for Salivan, you know. Then he asked, Iti Srutvahan Ripa, after hearing that he is a preacher of Mleccha dharma, he asks that Srutan Ripaha, that king, he asks, Praha dharma ko bhavato matah? Then what is the principle of your dharma? What you teach, what is your philosophy? Because to teach dharma, there should be some dharmic principle, you know, religious principle should be there. There should be some philosophy. So what you teach? Because you told me Satyavrata, you take the vow of truthfulness. But what is the principle? I mean, why somebody should take the vow of truthfulness? There should be something, no? Philosophically, principally. So, ko bhavato matah? What is the principle you teaching? Then, after hearing this, Isamashi, Jesus Christ, he started answering, Srutvata Maharaja, Praptya Satya Tasya Samchaya, Nirmaryadya Mleccha Deshe, Mashiho Ham Shamagata. Those who are born in the Mleccha Vangsha. Mleccha, we explained before also, generally we call Mleccha to those who don't follow the Vedic principle and those who are cow eaters. Those who eat cows and those who don't follow the principles given by Vedic scriptures. So they are called Mleccha. And here he also says, Nirmaryadya Mleccha Deshe, those people, those who staying in the Mleccha Deshe, I teach them. And how they are Nirmaryade. They don't have that honor. They don't have Maryada means sort of limit for anything. And they don't have that honor. They don't have any principle. Yeah, they don't have any boundaries. And no regulations. They are not following any regulation. They are completely in the level of senses. So their senses acts, they go to any limit, you know, don't care for any boundaries or any principles, you know. This is, yeah. So the sense enjoyment is the goal of life for them. So they are nirmaryade. They don't have any boundaries and any limits and any control on anything. They just go for it. And they don't think about anything. And they're saying, they are not following that principle of they should be truthful. If it comes, it's not favorable for their sense enjoyment, they don't even care for truth and reality. Is explaining. They are so much in gross level of sense enjoyment, they don't even think about being truthful. They don't even think about we should not cheat. Even that they are not thinking about.
Truth for them is sense.
Yes. Yeah. So it's saying for them, Mashiho Mleccha Deshe, and there is a land where like these people stay. So for them, Mashiho Ham, I am there as a Mashiach, means a learned scholar for them. I am a scholar for them. And I teach them. Shama Agata. Shama Agata. I came for them to teach them this principle. And I established a dharma for them. I tried to establish a set of rules for them. It says, Mleccheshu isthapita dharma maya tasreno bhupate manasam nirmalam kritvaha malam dehe shubhashwayam. So, what principle I taught them is saying, first you should learn to clean this body. First clean the body. Means taking bath, be clean, all those different things. Purity.
Obviously means they weren't doing that.
Yeah. So those days, because the place where you was preaching, Most of them, they used to be Vikings, those who go for a month and month killing people and just stealing things, forget about taking bath and anything, So, I mean, they keep traveling from here to there to there for like month and month. So, he started teaching them first thing. First religious principle is you should clean your body. Be clean from the body. And manasam, after that, you should think about cleansing your mind. You should clean your heart. First clean your body and clean your heart. See? And that malagrastha means make it nirmala, means all different sort of, there is mal means waste products in your heart, like contaminated. So we should clean that. So I teach them, first thing I taught them was clean your body. Be clean with your body. Put clean clothes. And second thing I teach them, now after you cleaning outside, you start cleaning inside. You start cleaning your heart. And then after that, Dehe, Shubhaswam, after cleaning everything, then what you do, make your heart clean, and then you start meditating on the Parameshwar, on that supreme super soul inside, who is inside already. So what we can see here, he was like trying to teach the people, those who are not following any principles, trying to make them habituated with at least something, Start with something. Clean your body, clean your heart. Start meditating something which is inside your heart. Because he didn't exactly took the name. He's saying meditate on something inside, which is in your heart. So obviously what is there inside is Paramatma. And actually even, and he says then I teach them that they should sing the glory of my Father. Because if I will start saying, Jesus Christ, if he starts saying that me and you, both of us were children of that Almighty God, then they won't listen. But if I say I am the Son of God, oh, he is Son of God. We are not. So we should listen to him. He is special because he is Son of God. Because if I say all of us, we are children of God, then who is going to listen to him? No, then why you are special? There's nothing to be special. If Jesus Christ will start saying, oh, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that I am the seed-giving father of everyone, then how come he is special? He is special because he is saying only that half of the truth, I am son of that father. So because of that now they listen to me. And what I teach them, we should sing the glory of that father, that my father, which is actually father of everyone. But he is saying only that much, that we should sing the glory of that father. That's what is Harikatha and Harikirtan supposed to be. And then, now this stop in between, he asks, okay then, who are exactly Mlecchas? Can you elaborate it little bit more? Because he understands something of that principle, what he is teaching. Salivan basically thinking is teaching whatever supposed to be taught. Actually, he is teaching the correct thing. But who these Mlecchas are, to whom we have to even teach to take bath and teach them that we should be clean from the heart. So looks like they are very in gross level, That's what Salivan thinks, because first thing is king, and kings on those days used to be very highly learned. They used to be like sort of Rajarshi, They used to be in the level of Rishi those days. So he knows those things. So he is thinking, who in this world is a person to whom we have to start teaching from that basic level that they should clean the heart and clean the body. So it was a bit of unexpected and surprising for him. So he asked, who these people are and where they stay, because I have never heard of such people to whom we have to teach, starting from they should take bath. It sounds funny for him. So he's saying, who are they and where they stay? Yeah, like, doesn't even sound like they are human beings for him. So he asks, who are they? And actually he asks them what gotra they belongs to. Because I haven't heard anyone with such gross and like so much inclined in senses only, who know nothing about purity, who know nothing about tapasya, who know nothing about anything, So he asked, who are they? And where they stay actually. So he says, Adamo nama purushaha, patni habhyavati tatha, Vishnu kardamo jato mleksha vamsha pravardhano. There was a rishi named Vishnu Kardam, and he had a son named Adam, and his wife was Abhyavati. They left his father and they went to Mlecchas, and they stayed there. And since they were direct kids of Kardama Muni, they can be called Kashyap Gotriya or Kardama Gotriya. That could be their Gotra. And they left their father and started staying there from very childhood, immediately after he got married. So he didn't have much culture from his father, because he, just before learning anything, he left. And where he went? It says, Dvishatashta sahasre dve sheshetu dwapare yuge mleksha desasya ya bhumir bhavita kirti malinihi. When it was just this about 18,200 years before the ending of Dwapar Yuga, or before the starting of Kali Yuga, 18,200 years before. So it's not after, but before that. There was a Mleksha Desasya Ya Bhumir Bhavita Kirtimalin. There was very beautiful land, Mleksha Des, and there was all different sort of fruits and flowers and rivers, pond, everything looks like almost heaven. And it was in between of two rivers, they say, but doesn't mention the name of rivers. So it should be somewhere near Israel, Iran, these places, Because generally, if we go towards more western or those parts, generally these countries fall between big two rivers. And says, that person stay in that place was 30 kos and very big jungle, and he used to stay there with his wife. And there was a papa vrikshe tale gatva patnir darshana tatparaha kalis tattagatas turnam sarpasyam hi tatkritam vanchita tena dhurtena Vishnu Gyata Bhangata Gataha Khaditva Tatphalam Ramyam Loka Marga Pradam Patihi. Then says, in that beautiful land, there were different fruits and different flowers and everything. It was very nice, and since he was a son of Vishnu Kardam Muni, although he didn't have that knowledge and everything, still he had that piety, that punya. So because of his punya, he was doing different sort of bhoga there, enjoyment, sense enjoyment. He was busy with that. But by the time he kept doing sense enjoyment, his punya starts getting less and less, because obviously punya will finish by the bhoga, by enjoyment. So what happened? They were sitting below one big tree, and since here senses his this punya, pious activity were decreasing and enjoyment was increasing. So his piety was almost like vanishing. Yeah, like becoming consumed, and he have like almost nothing left. So because of that, his senses starts agitating, and his tongue, because first thing in the material world, the sense enjoyment in senses is tongue, and the highest is also tongue, because everything else depends on the tongue. If we keep getting good food, enough food to eat, all senses keeps working. Else, none of the sense starts working. They stop functioning, and all senses, everything focus will be on the tongue after that. So first thing what he thought was, I should eat these fruits, it's for my enjoyment by seeing all the fruits. He started thinking that. Now he started thinking about enjoying. Before that, he was just taking everything, not in the sense of enjoying, but taking everything as to live on. But now he started, his mentality started changing, his consciousness started changing. And he started thinking, I should enjoy these things. Although he was enjoying those things. But that time he was not thinking that I should enjoy it. He was just taking it. Like kids, they don't think about enjoying it, but they get it, they take it. So there is no point of thinking about enjoyment. But now he started thinking, I should enjoy these things. These things belongs to me. I am the master of these things. So I shouldn't. Then he was hunted. It says he was hunted by the snake. And the quality of Kali started manifesting on him. He was hunted by the five-headed serpent, five-headed snake, which denotes the five senses. And he was hunted by them. So he started thinking, and he started thinking in the way how Kali thinks, that I am the master. I should start enjoying these things. It says, Kalis tatagatastunam sarpashe tatkritam. And after that, what he did, he just start enjoying those fruits and everything in the mood of enjoyer. And after that, what happened? Once he started enjoying different things in the mood of enjoyer, in the mood of master, then he saw his wife. They used to be naked those days. So he saw his wife, and his senses started, agitation started in his senses, and both of them, they started feeling little bit shy by seeing each other. A bit of shy. They started thinking maybe we should cover ourselves, something like that they started thinking. And they actually, by trying to be a enjoyer, by trying to be a master, they actually says, Vishnu avagya, Vishnur agya, Vishnu agya bhangata agataha. The instruction of Vishnu, they bhangata means they didn't obey the order of Vishnu, because Bhagavan Vishnu gave everything for them, not to be master and enjoy everything for themselves. They gave it to engage themselves in the devotional service. Instead of that, it's same thing with us, when we are in the home, we pray to the Krishna, as Srimad Bhagavatam explains. We pray to Krishna, and we come out, then we bhangata agata, Vishnava agya, bhangata. We don't follow, we forget it. Same thing happened with them also. They forget that order of Vishnu. Why Bhagavan Vishnu gave them that body and that beautiful place? They forgot it. And what they did? They started doing whatever not supposed to be done, and they started enjoying the senses. They started living on the platform of senses, sensual enjoyment. They forgot why the body was given to them. And these people now, what they started doing is, they started Maithuni Dharma, the path of sexual relationship, and they started their offsprings started coming, their babies, and that's how this Mleccha Vamshaha that was spread around. So this Mleccha had, since Shrutaha Putras Tato Jata Sarve Mleccha Bhuvivare, that's how these people, they started going around and making different settlements. So all the people, those who ever were born from these two, were called Mleccha. And they have their own understanding of Dharma. And later, Yavan, the king Yavan, also joined them. So become Yavan and Mleccha started getting mixed up. So now there is almost no difference between them. So that's how, because with Yavan, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra, they followed him. But Brahman, they didn't follow Yavan while he was traveling towards the western countries. That's how they slowly, Yavan also, after few generations, they lost their culture. Because the people who were supposed to teach them culture didn't follow them.
So Mleccha never had culture.
Yeah,
Yavan had culture,
yeah, but they lost it because didn't follow. Brahman didn't follow with them, and they mixed up with Yavan, Mleccha. So become, but they have certain their own understanding and own principles. They heard from different Yavan, heard from here, heard from there. Like, because initial phase Yavan were teaching them some things, because after few generations, Yavan lost their culture. But for first few generations, they had something. They were losing slowly, but they had something in the beginning. Because they went from Bharat Bhumi, from Bharat Khanda. Yavan, they actually traveled. Yavan was a son of Prithu or somebody, I just forgot the king's name. But so they had that culture in the beginning, but after few generations, because there was no proper educational system. Brahman was supposed to do that, but Brahman didn't follow it. So what happened? They slowly lost. But they taught something, so Mlecchas and even they mixed things, and something they got from this culture, something they put from their own mind.
Shastra says the Yavanas were Greeks,
Yes.
modern day Greeks.
Yes. So they mixed together and they formed their own idea and own understandings. And that's how these Jewish people started. This Jewish tradition was started by the mix-up of this Mlecchas and Yavan. So that's how they started. And that's culture whatever. Because this happened 18,300 years before Kali Yuga start. But Christ, he came like 1500, maybe 1700, 2000 years back. No? So before that, because 18,000 that and 3,000 this one is like, since 21,000 years back, the Jewish were there in this earth. Means there, these things were there. So initially they were the Mlecchas. And then after that, to those Mlecchas, he started, so that he explained about the ancestors of Mlecchas, the place of Mlecchas, and after that now he says, he started explaining about the language of Mlecchas. He says, and they have this comes in 5th chapter of same Pratisarga Parva from 35 to 37 slok. He says, and they have language, they have their own language. Because those days in this place they have Sanskrit as language. So he says they have different language. And he's saying, oh, they have different language also. So what is their language? He says, Pitri Paitara Bhrata Chavadara Ravivarescha Sunday Falgune Mase February. To Falgun they call February. To Ravivar they call Sunday. Ravi is sun and Var is day, Sunday. And this says Pitri Chapaitara for Pitri they call father. And to Bhrata Chavadara, to Bhrata they call brother. That's how he explaining. And they say Sastista 60. 60 for 60 they will say, to Sasti they will say 60, to Sasta, Sasti they will say 6, and like these things, different things he tells about the language even. So basically he explains the English language there. That will be the most common used language. So that was the most, that is the commonly used language they have. And says, Sapta Sindhus Sapta Hindubhya. To Sapta Sindhu they will call Hapta Hindu. That Sa will not be there. So they generally pronounce it as a Ha. And all these things he starts saying. So this is the Mlecchas Bhasha. So he explains about Mlecchas Bhasha also. So he explains basically the place, the time, their ancestors, their creation, and their language. So after listening here, actually we can see many of these things explained in many historical, even like modern historical books, if we keep looking, even in the Bibles or anything, those books from there, if we keep looking these things, then we can see so much similarities, explain these things. And then after that, he asked, so did you taught them what you supposed to teach? All those dharmic principles? Because you came to teach them Dharma. No? So was that all what you taught? What you explained before, you taught something else? Then he says, I had so many things to teach. I had so many things to teach. But they could not understand. So that's what happened. Actually that is mentioned even in the Bible as well, So then what happened? Now he was like interested, Salivan. Then what happened? Because when he heard I had so many things to teach, but they don't understood. Because Salivan, he knows half knowledge is very dangerous. If you teach them only half, then it's like...
But also because the difference between him saying, I have so much to teach, they couldn't understand Krishna saying, there's a verse where he says, I'm going to teach you all knowledge, phenomenal and numinous and after this, then we should be nothing further for you
Yes.
to know. He's going to teach
Yeah.
everything.
That's the teaching of Gita. Bhagavad Gita says that this is full and final. Oh Arjun, this is full and final. But in Bible, Jesus Christ says, I had so many things to say, but you won't understand. So Bible itself says it's incomplete actually.
Even says,
Yeah, the Bible itself says it's not complete. So if you want to understand Bible fully, you should understand Gita. You should learn Gita actually to understand it fully. And now he says, I had so many things to tell, but they didn't, they won't understand. And actually they punished me, he told. Now Salivan was a bit interested. How come somebody can punish their guru, you know? Because in eyes of Salivan, he is guru for them. And he's thinking, how come somebody can punish his guru? Guru, even if the guru is most fallen, guru is guru for you. Because you learn something from it. Sometimes we discriminate, you know, but we should learn it from the life of Avadut. He made 24 guru, you know, and only 3 were human beings. Remaining were not even human beings. All animals and insects and bees and snakes. He was learning from them. Yeah. So actually, guru is guru, and he's thinking, how come somebody can punish own guru, you know? And he's saying, this Mlecchas punished you? Why? How? He's saying, why? Because I was telling something which is good for them, but they could not understand it. First thing. And next thing, it was against the practice which they were going through. Because what they are practicing and what I am trying to teach them was not matching. Although I was trying to make it suitable and palatable for them, but still it was not matching, you know. So they thought about punishing me. And my own disciples, with whom, to whom I was taking everyone with me, always with me, even they cheated me at the end. That's what he says. They may not be able to punish me, but my own trusted people, they cheated me at the end. And I was punished. He said, how come they punish? So Salivan thought, because he is guru, so he thought those days like they don't kill Brahman, you know. Even 150 years back, up to like 80, 90 years back, in Nepal there was rule. Brahman, even if they did some mistake, there was no killing to Brahman. They used to cut their shikha and throw them out from the country, but they don't kill. Even like 80 years back in Nepal, they don't kill Brahman. So Salivan, he thought, so looks like they throw you out from the country. So no, they hang me, you know, and put nails in my body. They were trying to crucify me. What? What sort of people you were trying to teach, you know? They're trying to kill a guru.
And not even just kill, to have him there for
Yeah.
set example.
To set an example, yeah,
You
exactly.
speak like this is what's
Yeah.
going to happen.
So he says, they wanted to crucify me in the cross with nails, so I don't die immediately. And everyone, all of my followers can see what's going to happen with them if they follow me. So they try to kill me. But since I was Satyavrata Parayan, they try to kill me. Then Salivan saying, okay, then. But since I was Satyavrata Parayan, during my childhood, I visited this land. And I learned the path and what I should attend. He don't explain everything, but he says, I learned the way, I learned about the path and the goal. So I was following that by the power of that, my sadhana I was following. I was not killed immediately, and that Supreme, my Father, he helped me. The same time they crucified me, there was huge storm, thunder and rain. So all those soldiers who came to crucify me, they ran away. After they ran away, those who were my real disciples, they took me out from that cruise, and for 3 days, he says, he stayed somewhere in the cave, and from there they bring me here. And they went back, because if they also lost, then these people will start searching them, where these people went, and they will find me again. So they went back. But I told them to teach. Whatever I taught till now, we keep teaching that things. And I'm staying here, waiting for my death. He's saying, waiting for my death. then he says, so what else there was to teach more, you know? Because you told there are so many things to teach them, but before I could tell them everything, they crucified me and I have to run away. So what was more to teach? Then he says, Naigamam japamastaya japet nirmalam param nanyena satyavachasa mana shaikyena manavaha. Says that, O king, when your heart become pure, now you should follow the nigam, means Ved. It says Naigamam, you should follow the Ved, follow the nigam. And Japam Asthaya, you should start chanting. Japam Asthaya. First you should clean your mind and you should be Satyavrata Parayan, should take the vow of being truthful. That was I taught them. And after that, now you should follow the nigam, follow the Ved, and with the mantra you should chant what? The Supreme who is established in the mandala of a sun, in middle of the sun. There is the Supreme Being established there, who is staying in the middle of the sun, Shaurya Mandal, and we should chant his name. We should sing his name, and we should make him happy. So I was going to teach them this after that. But before that, they killed me. They tried to crucify me. They tried to kill me. And actually, you know, it's very much matching. Every day morning we do Gayatri. That Gayatri we remember sun. But not only the sun, that Supreme Being Sri Narayana, who is residing as Aditya in the sun. As in Chandogya Upanishad, Garuda Purana says, Dhiya Shadaha Savitra Mandala Madhya Brato Narayana. That Narayana, who is staying in the middle of the sun and who is in control of the sun, and says, actually Narayana is Antaratma, is soul of sun. Narayana is actual sun. That's why we call him Surya Narayana. So it says, I was going to, it says in different Upanishad, Brihad Aranyak Upanishad declares saying, Ya Aditya Tishtam Adityad Antaro Yam Adityo Navedaha. That's that Narayana stay in the sun as the Antaratma of sun. So you are saying, I was going to teach them that we should start Japam Astaya with full faith. We should chant the name of that Supreme Being who stay as in charge of that sun, Almighty Sun. I was going to teach them that. But before I could tell that, they actually crucified me. So it's half part of what he was going to teach was basically that Sarva Dharman Paritejam Mahapekam Sarnabrata. You leave everything and come in the shelter of Sri Krishna. You worship that Supreme Narayana, following the Vedic principle, and chant his name. So that was the last part I supposed to teach them. But before I could tell them that, they chased me away. So I have to run away from there. So because of that, I could not teach them everything. And they became like sort of half. So, and even he forecast, saying that, but now I know what's going to happen. It says, since they could not learn everything, now they will mix up with that Mleccha Dharma, means what those Mleccha were following before I started teaching them, and they will mix up what I taught them and make their own new parampara, They'll come up with new understanding. Because I could not give them everything, and what they had is not perfect, because what they got, it was not perfect from very beginning. What they were practicing was not perfect from the very beginning. And what I gave them was incomplete. So when they mix up these two things, becomes not complete, and they'll come up with completely different and non-authentic way of being spiritual or being religious. So that what actually he forecast even. So basically what we can see from this whole incident from Puran is he was actually trying to teach them the proper.
He gave them preparatory school.
Yeah.
Preparing them for
Yes.
Harinam and
Yeah, everything. He was actually basically to be proper Christian, they should start reading Bhagavad Gita, because anyway, even like if we put simple logic, that Jesus Christ himself, he says there that I have so many things to give, but you won't understand. You are not, he saw that they are not still qualified enough to understand all these things. Otherwise, he could have gave it. But same thing he says here also, Even in Bhavishya Purana, it says same thing, that I had so many things to tell them. And Salivan asks, what else you had to tell them? So the intelligent people, they could actually, those who are really intelligent and really trying to move in the path shown by Jesus Christ, they will start searching for it, what was the remaining parts you wanted to give. And they will find it. Because if somebody studies Bhavishya Purana, for sure they will get convinced after reading this much, At least I was quite convinced when I read it that actually a person can become true Christian if they read Bhagavad Gita, I was thinking in that way. Because Gita, Krishna says there's nothing more for you to understand. So actually basically it's like Bible is sort of this bridging course for those who are living completely sort of animalistic sort of life, completely in the level of sense enjoyment. All the day, everything they do is focused or going around the sense enjoyment. Just how to enjoy in better way. So for them, it's sort of bridging course, Oh, you should search for these things. But it's not everything. It's just like you started learning the letters. But just learning letters, you don't become expert in the language. You should study further. So it's something like that. By going through the Bible, person can understand the basic things, that we should be truthful, we should be, cleanness is next to godliness, So we should be clean, we should be truthful. But for what we need cleanness, for what we need to be truthful, by being clean and being truthful, what are we going to attend? For that, So for that, after we attend this mode of goodness, then we start getting that sukriti to study Vedic literatures. After that, we actually can, after we start reading these Vedic scriptures, we start moving in the path of perfection actually. Because what Jesus Christ taught in the Bible is showing the path, but it's not complete. Jesus Christ himself, he says. But in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that that's all. After studying all Veda and Quran, Itihas, everything, that's what you should understand is Gita, given by Sri Krishna. And in Bhavishya Purana, actually, it's mentioned these things. It's very interesting when we read Bhavishya Mahapurana. It's very interesting. So many things explained in so different way, and complete like sort of gives higher and holistic perspective. Yeah.
Has somebody done a good translation, English translation of
I haven't found. I found one English translation, but that translation is sort of summary study, not that detail. And when that summary study, if we, especially with Quran, I have seen that if we study this condensed and summary study, then we come with something else as a conclusion. It's not giving in because in 3 chapters it's mentioned and explained about Christianity, and they have like maybe a paragraph in that, and we cannot understand anything. At least I was thinking I should translate this few, at least even if just this much, so people can understand. It's very beautiful. Yeah. And there's things about Muslims also. It explains about them also. So maybe we can discuss that also.